Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Binge-Watch.
Binge watch. Binge watch.
So, guys, we are finally here. Andrew, what's our pick that we're doing?
It was regular show.
Okay, so as you guys know, Andrew has not watched this show. So me and Ryan has watched the show. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave Angie for last since she's seen this show. Ryan, what you thought about the show?
I really enjoyed regular show. It's a show that I got too late because I think the time when it was on TV, this is part of my life where I didn't have cable. So, no Cartoon Network. So it's like I'm not going to try a show that I've never heard of, especially with a name like regular show. I'm like, I'm good. But then I think me and my wife helped a friend move, and we were just chilling, and it's like playing on their TV. And it was very funny. And I was like, I'll give it a try, start watching it. And now I've watched the whole series from beginning to end. I think it's a very funny, well-written show that I think can be enjoyable for anybody if you're willing to give it the time to watch it.
Right. To quote something from this show, I watch a regular show all day, every day, all day, every day. I fully enjoyed the show. Let me tell you my experience with the show. My nephew. Look, guys, I'm a kid at heart. I watch Cartoon Network every chance I get. It's fun to watch. But my nephew and me, I don't like SpongeBob, but me and my nephew had this a combination of that. That whole arm thing with that handshake with Arnold Schwarzenegger, like SpongeBob, and this regular show meets in the middle. I feel like that was us because we kept watching regular show, and I just every time we go upstairs, it's like, you seen the last episode of regular show? Yeah, that was awesome, wasn't it? Yeah, that was so funny. It was that type of thing. I would watch it every chance I get. Now later on, as the years has gone down, I started streaming stuff. When I started my streaming, I got away from regular show and I couldn't watch the ending. So one day I was like, what was the ending? So I'll
be honest with you. I watched the final season of it through means that aren't the best, but that was the only way I was able to watch it. I had to see how it ended. It would drive me crazy.
It drove me crazy when I watched it. It's like, I'm not going to lie. I watched the whole series. So I was sitting there like, I'm not just going to start where I stopped out. I just watched the whole entire series.
Because a lot of it was on Hulu, and I was caught up to a certain point. But then I'm like, okay, when is it going to get on here? And I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm just going to watch it how I can.
Yeah. And
because Cartoon Network's making it difficult.
Right. And I agree with you. But I watched the whole thing from beginning to end. And when I got to the ending, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. I teared up. That kind of made me cry.
It's a really good ending.
Yeah.
And I think we should definitely hear from Angie how she feels about those first 5 episodes that she watched.
Yeah.
We've gushed enough, so.
Yeah.
I watched the first 5 episodes. I watched a few more past it, but you guys are Mac, beforehand, you really hyped it up. And
I know.
To Rick and Morty, so I was kind of expecting more of the Rick and Morty humor out of it, and then.
Well, Matt.
I know, I messed it up.
I didn't get that in the first 5 episodes, so it just kind of was like.
You were disappointed.
What is this show even like?
It's only comparable to Rick and Morty in the sense of the hyper craziness that it can go to, because it's not the same humor at all. It's because it's not Adult Swim. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So but the humor is there. It's the type of humor I grew up with where the adult jokes are there if you're paying attention and the jokes are there for the kids.
I mean, there were some things that I liked in the episodes. It's just, I think maybe I need to watch more of the later stuff to really appreciate the show like you guys do.
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
No.
No,
if I went into this show expecting Rick and Morty and I hadn't seen it, I could see where she's coming from.
Yeah, I can see where she's coming from. And that was my fault.
outside of the ridiculousness of the realms of it, because the show, even in the first 5 episodes, goes really ridiculous. And Rick and Morty has gone really ridiculous before.
Right.
So I could see that connection, but there's nothing else structurally or humor that connects the shows.
All right. Gotcha. Angie, do you at least see the ending?
Why would she see the ending? She didn't get to that point.
She didn't get to that point? She didn't get to
There's no way she could get to the ending of it. She did the first 5. There's 200 episodes, Mac.
I know.
There's 200 episodes.
I don't want to spoil the ending because the ending.
We're not going to talk about the ending.
Let's not talk about it.
I didn't get to the ending.
No, but So Angie, in defense of the show, the point of the show is it's called regular show. It's anything but regular. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I can see like some of the humor in it. I just think I just need to try and rewatch it.
Maybe because really, and I'm not even sure because it's because they're 10-minute blocks. It's not like I can go to specific episodes and say this is where you should start. Mm-hmm. It's really you just are watching it, and then if it hits for you, it hits for you. And I don't know why it hit for me, like because. When I watched the first 5 episodes, I'm like, wow, this is kid-friendly humor. And it's like that message of like not half-assing. It's like a lot of kid messages. I don't know when in the show it makes that leap for me. So I get it. I will say it helps that Mark Hamill was doing the voice of one of the characters, and yes, I can recognize him. The animation's funny. And I'm a sucker for animation that like does the whole they're people. It's like human situations, but they're not human, Blue Jay and raccoon and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's funny because of how outrageous it is. And then if you're not, so if you're going into it like with the Rick and Morty dark type of, it's dark humor that asks philosophical questions, the show's not going to go dark. Yeah, no, it's not going to go dark. It may... No, it's not really going to go. It's
With that said, now we kind of disappointed Angie. So we can go ahead and get something positive. What is our favorite character from this show? I'm going to go ahead and go first with this. Get ready.
Oh, Mac.
Uh-oh. Mac, what are you doing?
Okay, he didn't. I thought he was about to rip his shirt off and do it.
No.
So,
I love Muscle Man. Muscle Man. God, I love that man. At first, I hated Muscle Man. I was like, who is this jerk? But then as the season progressed, as the episodes progressed, I was like, damn it, I love you, Muscle Man. Don't tile me. You actually felt for Muscle Man in this whole situation. He was a cool guy, and Muscle Man is that person that you want on your side. You want him. You want him on your back. You want him.
Which, unfortunately, you're not going to know from the first 5 episodes because he's just a side character who woos and makes a "my mom" joke. So you're not going to get that, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, but if you watch as you go down into the seasons, he becomes that guy. But when I first watched it, I was like, he's a jerk, and I was like, as I gone past it, I was like, damn it, I love him. He's awesome. Just don't do nothing to kill him off. But yeah, Muscle Man.
All right, that's a good one. I'll say for me, I hate it because he's the bum of the show, but it's Rigby. I love him, and it's like he just does like as the show will progress. He just has a lot of things that I get. Like, spoiler, he never finished high school, but yet, so he has that challenge of like, oh, I didn't finish this thing that everybody does, so, I need to do it, and to prove myself, that kind of thing. So he's the underdog, and that's why I like him so much.
Rigby.
And I think, and Rigby, he's funny. So, Angie, which character do you like the most or identify with the most?
Skips.
Mark Hamill.
Woo!
I mean, I just love it because Skips is just this kind of like big mysterious guy. You don't really know where he came from, what he did. You don't really know much about Skips.
And then in the first 5 episodes, fucking space babies. It's like, what?
I was just kind of like, what kind of past did Skips have to be like this? Like,
Yeah, so.
What kind of cake is it?
Oh, God, that episode made me so mad because, like Rigby, they're not even eating it. Oh, man. But we also got to give a shout out to Mordecai, the other lead, because it's Mordecai and Rigby's show.
mm-hmm.
And
I also love High Five Ghost.
I do too.
that's crazy because it's like he's barely in it in the beginning in those first 5. So I'm glad you did, because what you said about Skips is wonderful because they explore his past as the show progresses, and it's great. So I hope if you do watch it, you'll see that because his past is so ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
But no, the show is so centered around, it's for Mordecai, for Rigby, it's learning to be an adult and feeling like he is as good as everybody else. And for Mordecai, he is cursed to be the heartless romantic. And it's so, you just feel terrible for him because he fucks up so many times. The cardinal that you saw in the 3rd episode, Angie, Mordecai is going to be obsessed over her, and it's going to be so long before he moves on.
The reason I picked Benson is he's that boss that you just want to piss off.
Well, here's the thing. He's that boss that, for the kids, you don't like Benson. Like, if you're a kid watching the show, you don't like Benson, but as I've gotten older, I relate to Benson more and more. Because it's like, when you're in charge and your employees aren't getting stuff done, you're like, dude, come on.
Come on.
So, Mac, you ready to move on to episode?
Yes. Yeah, this is like picking a daggone child that you don't want to do. You don't want to pick your children. You really don't. Angie, you go first.
I guess one of my favorite episodes was Death Punchies.
Yes.
It just reminded me a lot of when I was growing up and me and my little brother would get into little tiffs like that over video games. It reminded me of.
So wait, are you telling me your brother was Rigby and he'd probably be like, he would lose to you because he's the little brother?
Yeah.
I just love that because that is also my episode, and it's the humor of it. It gets so ridiculous over something as small as not wanting to be player 2 all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it's like neither of them were taught. They just stole the paper, put on the shorts and the jorts, and did the and they were able to do it. It's so funny. And then just the fact that Rigby getting popped in the first punchies, like, is a meme now, like, of like the person laying on the ground, like, defeated. So I love, and then just that montage of him getting punched. I just love it. Mac, what's your episode pick? Because me and Angie are on the same wavelength.
I'm gonna get hated from you. Whoa! Not setting up the chairs next time. I love this episode. This episode was just so hilarious. The Lemonhead gaming console. Pops literally, Rigby literally trying to use his tail to hit, just punch blunts, and the whole fact that this sets up Mordecai and Rigby as screw-ups, because at the beginning of the episode, they're like, all we wanted to do was set up the chairs. They were doing their job, doing a good job with it, and towards the end, they just couldn't get it. They just couldn't do nothing but screw up. They told them, I remember the whole series. So, for the love of all humanity, do not cross the red wire with the blue. And they do it like a bunch of dummies. And at the end of the episode, Benson's getting mad at him. He said, no, look, Benson, we set up the chairs. See, look. And then you just have the kids like cheering, like, yay! And then it's like surrounded by Martha.
I like that joke when Benson is like picking up the kids and he's like trying to be polite, and the kids says something really shitty to him. It's funny. Obviously, this is the first instance of a my mom joke, which I think that's when you watch the show. That's the first joke for adults. Like, the clown leaving the room with the horse, and it's just the cans of pop on the ground, which, God bless this show.
Yes.
If the stand-in for cocaine and alcohol seems to be
Coke.
chicken wings and pop.
Pop.
It's like, okay.
Okay.
It's so funky. It's so funky. I love it.
I love it. I mean, tag
All right. Mac, do you want to make your pitch?
Okay, here we go. I love the episode of Garrett Bobby Ferguson, and I love Highway Exit. I love that episode because that was funny. So I feel like what we need to do is just go ahead and just do an actual sequel, a third one to that, because that would be interesting. Literally have Garrett Bobby Ferguson's son, Junior, and have Garrett Bobby Ferguson the second. I would like to see that.
Was that big head dude?
Yes.
Okay.
I would Garrett Bobby Ferguson the second come up and with another enormous plan. And I just wanted to be a little bit more meta, where I'm not meta, but it's just more so of this his revenge. Like, I wanted to be so, like, it's so funny to where he pops up and then Mordecai and Rigby are just going about their day, like cleaning the park and doing a normal job and actually getting stuff done. And then he pops up and says, "I'm going to get my revenge on you, Mordecai and Rigby." It's like, dude, come on. I mean, we already know. Are you going to get your revenge? Come on now. You're just being lame. You're lame. You know, just him, Mordecai and Rigby, just like, and they're doing like, whoa! Just like the whole joke of him just trying to get revenge. And then just him getting revenge. And just like a normal episode of him just going around, just like, I'm going to get my revenge on you. I'm going to get my revenge on you. Just telling them that the whole time. So finally at the end of the episode, he tries to get his revenge on him by getting Vincent to fire them, and like he just figures out that if I fire them, maybe I can get their. That's how I get my revenge. So he tries to get Vincent to fire them, and Vincent, he's like they actually, like I said, they actually do their work, and he messes up their work, and they're trying to figure out like Vincent just goes around getting angry like every time, like more you can like, they'll do a speed scene where Mordecai and Rigby are cleaning up something and he just ruins it for them. And then you just get Vincent getting angry out. It's like he'll just, like the first time he'll just look at the screen like, and he's just look a little angry, that gives that look. And then the second time he does something, he sees it's getting even more, they're not doing their work and everything messed up. And then he just getting red, everything getting red on him. And then the last time he does something, they do something wrong, he just goes, throws his stuff down and start banging it on the ground. And then they have their meeting, and he says, "Mordecai and Rigby, I just want to tell you, I've been wanting to say this for 3 years now. You're fired!" It said, "Oh, Benson, you're just going to fire us for what?" He said, "You didn't clean up your stuff. You didn't do this, or this." He said, "But we did do that." And then Garrett Bobby Ferguson popped the second couple to say, "I did all that. See? I did all that, and I got my revenge." And then Benson's just like, he said, "You did this?" I said, "Yeah, you did this. Yes. You put me through the tortures of doing this." And then he does the whole anger spurts at him. And then he said, "You need to get out of here before I call the freaking cops." And then he just goes that, and then he runs away. He tries to run away and chase him down. He said, "You're not going to get the cops on me." I just want to just do an episode of that. They can really, I feel like I'm not dumb. I feel like they can twist it and do something funny with it. But I want to see what they can do with the second, and sort of stays in the same vein of regular show without being crazy about it. And I want to just do this as an episode.
But so somebody fresh eyes who hasn't seen the ending, Angie, let's hear that pitch.
There's this big party, and like the people at the park want to do a pizza cake. So Benson sends Rigby and Mordecai. It's like a crossover episode. Okay, hear me out. They go over to like Chowder. And then, I don't know if you guys know Chowder, like that old cartoon show. Yay! Okay. So then they go to Chowder, and then Chowder and Rada go with Rigby and Mordecai, and they go on this quest to go and get the greatest pizza cake from the Pizza Cake Monster at Pizza Cake Mountain, and it...
No, I'm visualizing it, because this is funny.
Pizza Cake Mountain. And I'm trying to think if it ever happened, like anything that, like, did they ever do a pizza cake or a pizza mountain on the show?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't.
And then they go through like the pizza portal, and it takes them to Pizza Planet, and then they have to try and find their way back home and go, and then bring the pizza cake to the park. And I just think it'd be a funny episode.
Dadgummit, you had me at chowder.
But yeah, that's my episode.
I like that. Brian?
All right, so my idea, I'm taking inspiration from The Simpsons. We're going to do a 21 interesting stories in the life of regular show, where it's after the end. It's after the epilogue, really, when you think about it. And we do it's like a reunion show where we go through 21 different stories for like just all the characters, because by the end of it, there's enough characters to do that. A la like The Simpsons did, which it's one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons. It's a good way to see where our characters have been, what happened with Mordecai and his relationship life. Did Rigby and all of his kids, spoiler alert, he has kids and it's wonderful. Skips, Benson, like, oh God, I would love to see Benson after that epilogue, just what his life has been. And Muscle Man, and all these different characters that when you watch the show, you grow to enjoy. And then, like, because it's 21 different stories, you have to do some side characters that it's like you haven't thought about in a long time. So you get that coffee bean character, who I don't think we ever see again after that episode. Which, God help me.
I kind of miss that coffee bean character. Not gonna lie.
The fact that it shot coffee out of its nips on a kid's show, so damn funny. So I
just loved how I was like, that's like every adult is probably wishing right now that character existed.
Oh yeah. So it's a great way of not changing the ending, because I didn't want to pitch an episode that changed the ending. So it's like, hey, we're just seeing the lives of all these characters that we really enjoyed. Like, I see it, like, they could do this, like, because I think there is a comic of it still going on.
Yeah, there's
so
a comic
it could be like, it could just be taking from the comic stories and bringing it to life for one episode for the fans, make it a half-hour special instead of the 10-minute special. And I think it'd be really funny, and it'd be nice to go back and see them, especially Muscle Man and his stuff that's happened with him in his life that I don't want to spoil.
Oh, yeah. Ryan, is this bingeable?
Yeah, for sure. It's the 10-minute, the fact that they're 10-minute little blips. Like, it took me less than an hour. It took me about an hour to watch these 5. So it's very easy, like, because people binge shows that are an hour long. You'll have people like, yeah, I did all of Stranger Things in the first weekend. And I'm just thinking, don't you have a life? There's the content. That's a lot of fucking content. So this is a show you could go through the whole season in a reasonable time and still have things to do. Right. That's why these are the types of shows for me that are bingeable. 10-minute blocks, half-hour blocks are bingeable. When somebody's like, yeah, I binged a show that's an hour long for every episode, I'm just like, well, don't you want to do other things? Don't you want to have fun doing something else?
I get what you're saying.
Mac, bingeable.
Yes. Hell yes.
Okay. Now, here's the one that we're not sure about. Angie, bingeable.
I would say it can be. I'll go ahead and like watch it again now that I've heard your guys' points and sides of the story, but I could see it like being on in the background mostly for me.
Oh yeah, no. Well, it's so long. There's, it's a very long run, so it's like you put it on, and when there's an episode that actually makes you like laugh, you'll actually stop what you're doing and watching, and you'll enjoy it.
And it is nice that they're only 10 minutes long, so.
Like, you're never going to feel like you wasted time watching an episode. Like, I would say that. Like, I think every show has an episode where you're like, damn, that was bad. That was, oh no, I've wasted time. Like, whenever I'm rewatching The Simpsons and it gets to the Armin Tanzarian, and I'm just like, damn it, I wasted 20 minutes of my life. When it's 10 minutes, it's hard to go, oh man, I really wish I could have that 10 minutes back. That was so bad.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure there are bad regular show episodes. I just can't think of them right now because you think about the good when they're that short.
Yeah.
Well, that's that. Angie, you get the next pick.
Yep.
Woo!
Yeah, so
Friends,
I am
Nope.
ready.
I want to hear this pick. So, what is it?
Stranger Things.
Okay, cool.
Because I haven't personally watched it.
Ooh.
I know the references, but I haven't actually watched it.
Man, this is gonna be fun because I've seen every episode and I love it.
Yeah, this will be good. Wow, Angie's pick, and it's another situation where me and Mac have seen it.
We have seen it. We have seen every episode.
So now it's okay. Let's see how Angie likes it, and it's so. I'm curious. Is it just you didn't want to get? You just were overhyped, and you're like, yeah, I don't need to watch it. Everybody's overbilling it, or is it just you never got around to it?
Yeah, it was just one of those things that I just never got around to it. Like, I've heard it was awesome, and it's been recommended to me multiple times to watch it, and I just haven't sat down to really watch it.
Well, this is a good pick for you. I think you're going to really enjoy it.
All right. Plugs. Ryan.
All right. You can find me here talking Binge-Watch. The Gamer Grudge season starting to get into full swing. And I think I have something to do with that, like a challenge of some kind that I'll need to do at some point. So watch out for that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, check out the Duncan Zeds show. We just had TJ on, and I suffered through Mac and me. So,
Angie, aka Jill Sam, what you got to plug?
Well, as you guys know, you can find me here hanging out with the Game Fixers on quite a few shows now at this point. You can find me at Mixer. Hey guys, post-production Angie here. So since this video has been filmed, Mixer is no longer a streaming platform. So now I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/AngelicSin. Thanks guys. I'm also on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and you can find me on TikTok as well.
TikTok. Okay. Guys, I'm at Full AK, the Game Fixers. Come to our channel. Come see some stuff. Have fun. Also, remember, we have Gamer Grudge and t-shirts. And cape t-shirts. Look at that Tonjo shirt. That's an awesome shirt. Go get it. Go get it. Get it. Well, guys, we got to get going. Hopefully you've enjoyed some of the episodes so far. So next time we'll be doing Stranger Things, which is another movie that TV show. I want to call it a movie. Another TV show that Angie has not seen. All right, well, guys, that's it for this episode of Binge Watch. We'll see you next time on another episode of
Binge Watch.
Binge Watch.
All right. Bye, everybody.
All right, see y'all, guys.